Hey everybody, this is Elise from Camp ASCCA, and you're listening to Camp ASCCA, the podcast, the show that dives into all things ASCCA and the people that make camp the incredible place it is. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media to stay up to date with what's happening here at camp. That's at Camp ASCCA, CAMPASCCA. Welcome back to Camp ASCCA, the podcast. We have two special guests joining us on this episode. Nurse Nick and Nurse Cynthia were two of our beloved nurses this summer. Nick and Cynthia, please tell our listeners a little bit about yourselves.
Well, let's see, I taught school, high school science, and my wife was a nurse, and she would travel during the summers, and I would ride her coattails wherever she went. And I decided when I got out of teaching and coaching that I'd go back and get my nursing degree, and we could work together.
And we did.
And we did.
So, I've been in nursing since 1984, mostly women's health, did labor and delivery with Abby, and that's how we met.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 7 children between us, about 16 grandkids, I think.
Oh my goodness.
Last count.
We're kind of semi-retired, so when we're not doing nursing, we are taking contracts. We're
Yeah.
with the family.
You're definitely staying busy with that many
Yeah.
grandchildren. Oh
We're
my
having a
goodness.
good time.
What is it like being able to work alongside your spouse?
We enjoy it. We really do.
Mm.
It's different, but we can help each other.
Mm.
And when we're on call, we're kind of on call together, even though it's one of us.
Yeah.
We kind of team up and do it
Oh,
together.
absolutely.
So,
She may have a little more experience than me, like 25 years more. So I generally pay attention to what she says,
Mhm.
though I act like I don't.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
No,
do
of course
that.
not.
But what'd you say again?
we enjoy it. We do.
Oh, I can imagine. When you're not working at camp, what do you like to do in your free time? I know you mentioned you have so many grandchildren, but
We do like to play with the grandkids, but we also like to, we like to travel.
Mm.
We like to go out west.
We like to hike in the mountains.
oh wow.
And I'll never forget the first time we rode to the top of the mountain there, I guess, where you look over Estes Park, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I was boggled. I had found where God lived. And I literally cried when we left Estes
Oh
Park.
wow.
And I just about cry every time we go out there and come back. But we do love the mountains. We both love to hike and climb.
Mm-hmm.
We don't do the real technical climbs.
Oh, no.
We
No,
will
I
climb
get
with a
that.
rope sometimes, but
Mm.
mostly it's the kind of bouldering you can
Yeah.
just use your hands and do.
How would you say that working as a nurse at Camp ASCCA differs from anything that you've done in the past?
It's by far the most rewarding job. Money-wise, it's not the greatest. Hour-wise, it rivals coaching,
Mm-hmm.
but it is by far the most rewarding job I've ever
The
had.
people make it.
The smiles that you see, and it's not just the campers; it's it's the staff too. Some of the hardest working people I've ever been around, and I think the thing that really gets me about ASCCA is they enjoy their work.
Mm-hmm.
They love it as much as the campers
Oh,
love it,
absolutely.
and that's what tears me up.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I agree with you too. It's so rewarding. And you get to spend a lot more time
Mhm.
out. And like in the hospital, you're busy
Yeah.
doing a lot of paperwork and charting.
Oh, I don't do charting.
Oh, no.
It's such an upbeat and fun environment
It is.
from what I would imagine a hospital setting to be. What summers have y'all worked, and what is it that kind of keeps you coming back to ASCCA?
Well, 2018 was our first summer,
Mm.
and
we
Nurse-
did the full summer that
Mm.
year when we were here.
Nurse Abby was pregnant with triplets, so she, I had heard about ASCCA, and she kind of like,
Yeah.
please, I could use an OB nurse.
Oh,
Here it
absolutely.
is, summer too. So,
Really, my first stop out here was more or less as a favor. I knew she was crazy about Abby, and it was more of a favor to Abby.
Yeah.
She needed some help, and once she had talked to me, I said, "Well, how about her?" And she said, "Oh yeah, if you could get her to." So we talked her into it, and that worked out really well.
it is, and it's hard not to come back because it's just such a good place. And to watch the counselors and the college kids give so much for the campers. Okay. And it's just smiles. Keep them safe and happy, and the whole week is nothing but, let them have a good time.
You can't help but have a good time yourself, no matter how tired you get.
Absolutely. I think a bad day here beats a bad day anywhere else, because even a bad day here, it isn't really that bad.
It's not. Because
you're constantly surrounded by people who are encouraging and loving and just want to have a good time.
Exactly.
A bad day here, you still saw a lot of smiles.
Absolutely. And if that can't turn your day around, I don't know what can. How would you say that ASCCA has impacted your life? Or has it in any way?
It has. I'd say it has, because it just shows how much, and there's hope still.
Yeah. With everything happening.
Well, I'd about given up on the younger generation. I have changed my mind now. There are still good young ones out there with the younger generation.
People work so hard to try to
That's right.
make the campers so happy.
Oh, absolutely.
And, give so much of themselves and then get so much in return.
Yeah.
Too. And it's just life-changing.
Yeah, it is.
There's not a lot of teenagers or adults in their young 20s that would give up their summer to spend with other people.
To work their tail off?
Yeah.
No.
Doing selfless work. Absolutely.
And they keep coming back.
Yeah.
We see people that were here in 2018 right now.
Oh, I know. I worked my first summer in 2019. And as soon as the summer ended, I was like, when can I come back? Weekends, anything, please, let me come back.
It just makes you feel good.
It does.
It goes both ways.
It absolutely does. If you could give a piece of advice to future nurses who are considering working at Camp ASCCA, what would it be?
Do it.
Oh, don't do it. You'll be hooked. You'll keep coming back and back and back and back.
Oh, I know.
You'll get hooked. I'm telling you. Be careful.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining us. I really appreciate this. And I know our campers would love to hear this. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's happening at ASCCA? This is the part of the show where we are going to talk about everything that's happening right here at Camp ASCCA.
Hey, it's Courtney. Just wanted to give you guys an update on our summer. We had a fantastic summer, as always. We had a ton of new campers this summer and got to experience some programs for the first time. We also had a great concert series this year. We had some new bands that we actually had rescheduled shows with from COVID, the Vagabonds and Blue Water Highway. They were amazing. And we had, for the first time at Camp ASCCA, Langhorne Slim, which was one of everyone's favorite nights at camp. We're getting ramped up now for our fall camp, so everybody stay tuned.
Thanks for listening to Camp ASCCA, the podcast. We hope you enjoyed this episode and look forward to you joining us next time. As always, be sure to follow us on social media at Camp ASCCA and visit our website, campascca.org, for more information about camp.